Up, Nix. He tosses a pillow across the room.
I can take care of it for you.
All right, we should get you prepared.
All right, just so I don't forget about Nim, I'm going to put a little sheet in our OneNote.
Nim the one-winged,
Yep.
Oh God.
or Nim the Watcher.
Nim
Nim.
the Watcher.
I give you this, you give me wing. Make a potion to fly, or friggin' alter self potion or something.
Yeah. Thanks for the inspiration. Their nemesis. Yeah, good stuff. All right.
Magnus,
Oh,
we
where
need
are
to
we at?
get you prepared for your adoring fans.
Yeah, of course. Magnus. Yeah. So
You've heard the stories, haven't you?
they're not stories at all real.
All right. Well, you might want to lay off the dinner rolls. You're getting a little girthy.
It's muscle in your stomach. Like this.
Okay, it's around 1 o'clock at this point.
Okay, we're gonna go police up our gladiators, make certain that they're presentable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you stop by the gladiatorial stable once again.
Okay.
Leaving
so
Nem and your drug-addled wizard
You know, just
alchemist
let
behind.
Let them be high. Give them a headache. Yeah.
you will see. See what we
So
do.
Prentice Pennywise does not get to come as a gladiator.
No, he's still locked up as he has not taken his gladiatorial oath. You do have like a place where you can punish those that are slaves that are bad, and there is a cell that is in the basement, and there are 2 Imperial guards that you realize that they are also wearing the insignias of like the Grand Duke that are in your ludis, guarding Sir Prentice Pennywise. He is not going to escape this justice. Sir Prentice Pennywise's things, however, have been confiscated. You do see them in a box nearby. You're not too sure what's going to be done with them. One thing that is in that box is a beautiful rapier. Magnus,
Okay.
says Bull.
Yeah. Yeah, boo.
Hi.
Don't worry, we bring Bull with us this time.
Everyone is presentable as presentable can be, says Sona. Everyone has
Excellent.
everyone has bathed, and we've applied a certain powder as instructed to fleas.
Excellent. Your armor looks clean. Good. You still smell of blood and sweat. I like it.
I happen to notice that there is somebody in the dungeon, says Sona. It's not our place, says Zor. Well, I'm curious.
We have a
Curiosity
new
killed
addition.
the catfolk.
We are under new management. When I
Yeah.
say, I suppose we is appropriate. We are in a state of flux, and we are to think about the moment. The moment ahead of us is a audience with the fan.
Calls him man. Okay.
Okay.
And,
Be
So-
on
Sona
your best behavior.
raises his eyebrows like he understands. The rest don't seem to really know.
The fan of man, a very, very important patron.
Well, we're sort of at a disadvantage with a gnome like that. Bull is the only man that is here. Well, that and Magnus. I hope they don't mind Samsarans with their blue skin and all. And, well, you fleas are probably fucked.
Who don't like fleas?
oh, they've seen you fight.
You need to shave.
He knows who you are.
Shave.
Yes. When you get the fleas, you need to shave.
Man, we're likely gonna have to fight again today. But don't worry, I'm gonna fight with you again.
Yeah! Bull just starts yelling. He raises his arm and starts yelling. Sona gives you sort of like a short bow. Zor stiffens in pride.
I start banging against the shield. Yes, that is why you'll be coming in armor, but remember, this is a ceremonial visit, and unless instructed otherwise, you are not to attack anyone.
Yeah, bring everything and be ready, but don't do anything until we ask to.
Sona,
We have to agree to whatever they suggest, so we'll do it.
that you're Sona, correct?
Yes, Master Ashoka. He smiles.
You're responsible for keeping Bull in line.
Of course. You
Good.
do realize that he is the senior amongst us.
You are responsible for keeping Bull in line.
Okay? Understood.
Yeah, everyone, do me a favor and follow Sona
Bull's just sort of
if
looking
I'm
at
not
you.
around.
Bull.
Bull, in the combat, you are their leader. But when we're talking to people, follow him, alright?
Yeah.
Alright. My warrior. You're my warrior. You're my boy.
Bull's your
dude.
warrior! He comes over to you and he's like, Bull's your warrior! Yeah! Yeah! Magnus!
I fucking love this guy. Alright.
Ashoka is giving a look to Sona, like an expectant look.
Ah, Bull. We're to behave at this place. It is a very fancy place with important people. That means no touching and no shouting until we get to fight. Maybe, if you're lucky. Bullfight with Magnus?
The only thing that will stop me is if they tell me not to fight. But
Perhaps.
I will ask them to fight anyways, because...
But there also might be cakes and wine. Okay. He turns to Ashoka and smiles.
Ashoka nods to Sona. Yeah, this is...
And possibly women is what he whispers to Bull, and you notice Bull, like
blushes.
Beet
Ooh.
red. Zoris, he just shakes his head slightly. And
If we're gonna go, we're gonna also bring Bull with us.
Of course.
Make sure he's tended to. Clean his... I don't mean Bull's Bull. Clean his horns, clean his saddle.
yeah, get Bull.
Yeah.
I don't
We're going...
think that is wise. I don't
The
recall.
venue is a small venue, as far as we know. Indoors.
I'll go get him right now.
Hold on, Bull. Hold on.
Okay, he comes running back.
What do you mean small venue?
We're going to a private party.
You said this is the richest man. You don't think he has a stable? You don't think he has a big area?
It is an afternoon party that might be outdoors.
Temperature? What's temperature and weather like these days?
Knowledge local.
It's
And they said it's a warm
fall.
days.
It is fall. It is unseasonably warm this year.
Elven days or something like
and
that?
you are close to the sea, so it is like I don't know, 70 degrees today.
Okay, what is that? What is 70 degrees?
70 degrees is 21 Celsius.
That's perfect weather.
Right. Okay. So Ashoka, knowledge local or knowledge ability royalty for the fan of man and mostly his abode.
Yep.
Does he have like an apartment in the sky or like a monster villa? No. 13. He's got a house.
You know where his palace is. They call it a palace. It's more like a very large city-styled villa. Given that it is in the Imperial City, there's not a lot of outdoor space. He's probably got a nice roof, and you know his palace is close to the Tri-Colossia. Like he could probably even look into some of the Colossia from his
It
palace.
doesn't look like it would have a jousting
Nope,
area.
it doesn't have enough space.
No, the palace also has a tower. Where the normal house day-to-day functions happen in like the main building, whereas his personal quarters are in the tower.
Okay. Oh yeah, his man is in the city.
Oh, I want to bring Bull.
It's too small for Bull. Bull's too powerful.
Yeah, Bull's strong. Bull's very big. He get very big.
Ashoka. Not Ashoka. Ashoka? Why aren't you answering me, Ashoka? God damn it. Magnus.
Yeah.
He could ride Bull to the villa, just might not get to use him while there. Should have stables.
Oh?
Yeah, don't expect to use him in the battle, but we could ride him there.
Yeah? I could go get him?
We're only gonna ride him there. Probably not gonna fight. He's too big to get.
He's a good bull. He will ride nice. Like horse.
Like,
Dude, 6 inches.
fuck it, go get him then.
Yep.
What are you waiting for? Go!
Alright, he goes and gets Bull, and
what?
let's just show you what Bull looks like. Guards, where do we have him? Companions. War Bull.
It's useful to at least make our numbers look more impressive when we show up because we have so few people.
Alright, he is impressive looking. He has his lance. Bull's got a really nice saddle and little bits of leather armor, not enough to consider, like, to be armed. You guys haven't been able to afford that yet. In fact, you remember Prentice Pennywise complaining about how expensive it was to feed the bull and give it space in the city, and that we should probably just slaughter it and feed it to the gladiators. Magnus, you have managed to convince them that this is okay, and over time the bull has grown from a small, like, calf-like thing to a full-grown, angry, Tauran menace.
That is awesome in combat.
Yeah, I got him. He's in good mood today. He just slaps the side of the bull.
Yeah.
Makes a bit of a wheeze.
Magnus grabs one horn, looks him in the eyes, like, yeah, how you doing, bull? Yeah.
Just snorts in your face.
Yes, yeah, good day, huh? Come on, we're gonna go and probably get bloodied.
Good bull.
All right.
Hey, Snake Man! I got Bull!
Yes, you have Bull. Snake Man will take a step back from Bull.
Yep. Sona takes the reins and is pretending to lead it along. Just follow me, Bull. Let's try not to step on anyone. No, step on people. People don't like to step on.
Ashoka will reaffirm to the Imperial Guard, no food, no one speaks with him, and move along his way. The exact orders that were given previously, he's going to restate them publicly in front of others to the guard.
Okay, the guards are not your guards. They are like the Grand Duke's guard. They just stare at you like you're invisible.
That's fine. It's all good. I'm not invisible to me.
However, the house guard seem a little startled. They weren't told that Bull was coming, and they kind of scramble out of the way, and they're going to escort the gladiators to the palace of the Farn of Man.
Yes, that's where we're going. We'll go there for big party fun times.
Let's play chess with Snake Man.
All
I
right.
win!
All right, so Helmet Van Imp is gone.
Sunshine, happiness, and rainbow.
Let the wiki win.
All right, you arrive at the palace. Indeed, there are people outside. You can see that there are carriages kind of coming and going. Stepping out of one of the carriages, this carriage is pulled by some white horses. The carriage is black, and you do notice that there are at least half a dozen ravens that are crowing on top of on top of the carriage. There's definitely a dark wood sort of mixed into the carriage design. Sounds like Bull needs to play chess with the Snake Man to train Int. He slaps the chessboard. He doesn't play chess. He plays checkers.
This is how I win.
Endless
I
tic
thought
tac
Bull was your
toe.
king.
Endless like frustrating games of tic tac toe. Yeah. Outstepping is somebody with very light, like a light foot. He's dressed in like close black-fitting clothing with this really nice vest on. He's got this strange-looking crown that looks like it's made out of alicorns, dark alicorns. He's got overly large, sprightly ears. He's only about 5'4", like he's really, really small and slender. But he's got sharp, keen eyes as he looks at your group approach. Boy, am I glad that I preceded you. Otherwise, my carriage would have been riding through bullshit the entire way.
It's quite funny!
Before we go in, I must extend to you that there was a rather ravishing performance that you performed. Very vigorous.
It's our duty.
And he goes over to shake your hand.
Yep.
His handshake is like shaking hands with a limp stick of celery.
Kleenex. Got it.
It's just sort of like
Shakes his hand with a weird look.
almost as if he turned it like this, he would have expected you to kiss it, but it's a very meek handshake.
Right. As he walks away, I look at.
He doesn't walk away yet. He just.
Oh. Okay. I'm glad that combat was pleasing. It was a very fierce fight. And these are the men and boys that made it. They survived. It was a good battle. Worthy.
Are the other masters of your house going to be here today, or is it just the two of you?
Two of us will be representing on this eve.
Oh. Will you have authority to make decisions, schedule fights, and perhaps even trade property?
Yes.
Excellent.
Sorry, this is what Ashoka sees.
Excellent. Well, as you understand, House Silden is always interested in, well, the Imperium has taught us one thing. It is good to keep to one's own. I should very much like to discuss the price for Zor.
Understood. It would be a...
He turns to Zor and says, I am to understand that you are one of the last of the Order of the Myrmidons. It would be quite a loss for any speaking in Elven directly to Zor. It would be quite a loss for House Silden not to acquire you for preservation of your people's ways. Zor looks troubled.
Sense motive.
Just ask him
I
after.
appreciate the compliment, he says, and he just sort of puts his head down like he's not supposed to talk to people without permission, but he was spoken directly to, so...
Yeah. Magnus nods like...
Well, inside then, I'm sure that the others are going to be much more interested in, well, different gladiators in your stable. The Queen of Ravens gives her regards. Please pass them along to Sir Prentice.
He already knows.
Of course. Sense motive.
On who? 13?
No, on that 13 was on Zor. I want to know if Denister knows that Sir Prentice is in the clink.
Is messed up.
Oh, okay. Oh, you rolled shitty.
26.
He knows something's up.
Okay.
All right, there are servants that come and take your things. They are not too sure what to do with the bull.
Do you have stables?
They say yes.
Then move them with your stables.
Okay, it takes you a little bit extra time to go in because Bull actually has to lead the war bull around, and they move some horses out, put them on the road, and give Bull his own pen. Can I stay here with Bull?
Ashoka is going to look to Sona.
Unfortunately, Bull has to stay here. You, Bull, are going to come here with us. Is that okay with your Bull? Yeah. Let's get him something to eat and drink, though. So there are people that go and fetch some hay and like fill a trough full of water, and Bull seems to be fine. I apologize. He's very difficult around his animals. It is likely the reason why he was sold into slavery in the first place. Or at least into gladiatorium. Come along, Bull. Bull will be safe here. It's just horses. He shouldn't be afraid of horses. Yeah, horses, dumb.
Int 5.
And if he spent 1 int point in his bull is half the intelligence he does.
we need to have that bull raised so that it's equal to its owner.
First druid to be outsmarted by its druid companion.
All right, so the group of you are
Astro, I don't think it's a good idea.
are invited in. This one servant says, "Oh, your gladiators are here with you. Interesting. They should have come through the servants' entrance. We'll have to whip that person. We have a lot of new help here today. The gladiators can go right back. Go through there in the kitchens. Please don't touch any of the cakes, and go and wait with the other gladiators. Thank you very much. Masters,
Sona?
this way."
Sona, you're in charge.
Yes. Let's not touch anything, Bull. Come along. You too, Fleas.
Oh, Fleas was like creeping over to like a cake.
Joker, are you sure about what you said? Able to deal in property?
I can make dealings for our house.
No, Bull needs to stay here, but you, Bull, need to go. So, Bull, leave the Bull. Yeah, physically they have to pull on him and say, "Come along." We usually do these little quotes next to our character pages. So Bull's quote is this. This is the height of his intelligence. Me Bull, he Bull, we Bull.
Weeble, wobble.
Which might, yeah, it's the same thing.
We randomly roll these characters, and hey,
Yeah, this was Magnus's toughest gladiator.
Could have been lower.
You could understand why someone like that might end up. Well, what is his backstory? I wrote a few things.
He's a farmer, isn't he?
Bull is from a family of northern farmers and ranchers. Their ranch was sacked and burned by raiders. Destitute, Bull found himself at the wrong arm of the law when he was caught stealing food. He grew strong as a slave laborer and has been bought and sold by various slave owners. Ironically, while in captivity, he met a friendly druid of Obed High who taught him how to pray to their god. One particular slave owner had Bull train with a minor gladiatorial stable, taking advantage of Bull's skill with animal handling and riding. After a few pit fights, Bull was sold to the Conclave of Crimson Sands, where he currently resides. Basically, stealing a loaf of bread is what got Bull into gladiatorium.
He's Jean Valbeau.
Bull hungry.
Bull Durham?
Not a happy story, but he's being treated better here, I suppose, than other places. This one guy says, this servant clearly doesn't know who Magnus is. Gladiators this way. Masters this way.
This is Magnus. He's
Magnus
master
gives him a
of the
look.
Crimson Sands.
Gives him a look like he's like the one in his in the
He is also
image.
a gladiator.
I'm Master Magnus.
Much appreciated. I too am new here. Congratulations on your fight.
Thank you.
This way, masters, he says, although the slave does not think that Magnus is a master. You can see that there are some people mingling. You don't see Legius the Fan of Man. You can see people mingling around big tables where there are like immense platters of cheeses, breads, exotic fruit. There's a fountain of wine where there are servants that are giving out fountains. There are objects of gladiator fights all around the room. Some of which are just hanging from walls, like broken shields and broken weapons, while others are clearly like an alabaster statue of some female gladiator slaying some monster. Like it is kind of off to the side. Everything's sort of jammed in. It doesn't seem to have a rhyme or reason. There's a lot of plant life in here as well, as part of this room is open to the sky. Like there's a sun well, and it's quite beautiful in here. Kind of exotic looking. You weren't expecting to find this little almost like slice of tropical in this temperate climb. There are some parrots and peacocks that are wandering around in this area, and in the center there is a clear square of exposed earth with some purple ropes around it.
It's the square of
Emergency
rectification.
bug on the ceiling. I have to go and identify and deal with it.
Why, hello
Remember
there.
the story last time with the spider? Don't let it kill you this time.
I'm gonna be careful with my
A
ribs.
very bold man with this practice and false slimy grin comes over to you. There is a jewel on each of his fingers, as he is very fond of jewelry. Why, hello there. He smiles.
Lord Pompilius, pleasure to meet you. I am Ashoka Maruya of the Crimson Sands.
Yes, one of the masters of this up-and-coming gladiatorial stable. However are you going to survive with so few gladiators left? I'm not sure. But do know that I have quite a few connections in the supply train.
Connections always appreciated.
Some of them.
We are in an aggressive rebuilding phase. For our stable.
I do like those words. Perhaps we could, after we have met with our host, talk business and aggressively negotiate. He touched your arm a little bit when he said aggressively.
It's totally cool. It's all good.
And there's the star of the show. How the mighty have risen from nothing. It is a story that is told time and time again, and it gives hope to those lowly, wretched creatures upon which we stand. Their backs are there, bent and broken. I might as well stand on top.
Amid slaying bugs.
Done. 1 sec.
I'm sure that you will want to get a refreshment before we are dazzled by our host.
Yes. It is a wonderful engagement. Do you have any free agents?
There's a guy with a plate full of food. It's looked like he just grabbed a bunch and slopped it on there, and he's drinking and eating and poking at things and tipping things over. Like, who's this asshole? He is painted from head to toe in tattoos. Some of the tattoos have just been blocked out, but you could tell that there may be some sort of tattoos underneath. Did I hear you had a problem?
Excuse me?
The problem. You need gladiators, don't you?
Yes, we are looking for new talent.
It's been a while since I've heard the sounds of a screaming roasted man. Or fireballed a bunch of unwanted slaves. I'm Zad. Of course you already knew that.
Yeah, Ashoka Maruya.
I think these oysters have gone bad. He just tosses the fucking plate into a bunch of other food and goes all over the place. Well, this is the... Yeah, I saw you. Wasn't too impressed.
Okay, sorry, I'm there.
Yeah, you're right in front of him.
Oh,
Face to
okay.
face.
There we go.
He is shit talking you to your face and making a mess, and he's kind of disgusting. He also fireballs things, so bring that in.
Just bring that into perspective.
Keep that in perspective.
Well, my apologies if I was not too impressive with my fighting and my abilities. I'll do harder and better next time, that's for sure. Unfortunately, with these turn of events, we've lost a lot of gladiators.
You can give me a knowledge local if you have it.
Nope. I can comfortably tell you that I do not.
I do, so I will.
All right, you can make an in check, Magnus. He is a gladiator.
11. Oh.
Yeah, you're not too sure what this guy's thing is.
9.
What his deal is.
Yep. So, 2 of you little whelps have fun tonight with whatever the fuck is gonna go on here. If I get a strange look that you're up to something, lightning bolt, right up your ass. Tonight's security. Don't you fucking forget it.
He sounds like
You
a
seem to be making quite the mess for hired help.
gladiator for hire?
He shrugs.
Enjoy your evening, Zad.
Yep. He wipes his hands off on the front of Magnus's vest. He walks off to go get some wine. You see Dennis, they're going.
So he looks. So Magnus looks at Ashoka like, I shouldn't have fucked him up, right?
No. You did good.
1 second. Yeah, what were you saying?
Yes. Before you is the winner of the
Magnus. Oh my god. Magnus.
Ashoka's gonna go get a damp towel.
Okay.
Magnus looking at him like,
Magnus, you're beautiful, Magnus. Can I get your autograph?
thrilled. What?
Can I get an autograph? He claps, and a bunch of servants come in. They're kind of dressed like he is. They're all cross-dressed, or they're in kind of women's clothing, or what you would consider Magnus as women's clothing. Can we have a little bit of your essence?
Well, what? What do you like? I'm Magnus.
You notice he pulls out a little bit of little bit of oil, and he's got this weird little looking scraper thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you flex for him. He puts some oil on your flex and starts scraping your skin and the oil off, and they're collecting the oil with the skin scrapings.
Magnus, yeah, Magnus product.
Yes. And he stops doing it. He puts out his hands, and people clean his hands. And as much as Magnus is going to stand there and allow them to do it, they are basically covering him with oil and then scraping it off and collecting in bottles your essence. It's such an honor, is what he says. Such an honor.
Yeah, I know, it's an honor for me to see you finally. I hear you all the time going, yeah, it's good. You look like you sound, yeah.
Oh, it's such a charmer, is what he says. This is so exciting.
This is by far one of my favorite characters of all movies.
All right, so this is Pitch. You know that he
Ashoka
is
is going to just... You could be asking for a donation or something for that.
Within earshot of what's his name. Yeah, I'm sure that Pitch will be very, very generous with his comments and all his talking in the Coliseum about us.
You're gonna be funny tonight. Magnus gonna be funny tonight.
What the fuck?
You're gonna fight. You're gonna fight.
I don't know. Depends what I'm supposed to do.
Magnus.
Ashoka's wiping Magnus's...
Magnus is not sure what's going on.
If you're gonna fight tonight, I'm gonna be on your side.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Marty, do you have to like
He's waiting for
uncross
something to
your
happen.
legs to get your voices pitched down a little bit? You know?
No, I karaoke. I can do. I can do. I believe.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I can do a believe in a thing called Love by the Darkness. Like I could do that song. So yeah,
I think I heard you.
it takes a little warming up to get up to it, but yeah. All right, so he's excited. He basically Ashoka. You think that he might be a bard and he might help Magnus out in the fight later today.
That's what Ashoka took from that, and he's like, okay, sure. The essence for some bard song makes sense to me. Makes a sense, Reno.
Okay, there's a loud booming voice from across the way.
Oh, is it the captain?
Yes.
All right, because I want to talk to the captain.
Oh, the captain.
Well. So good to see one of my own at his zenith. I'm so glad that you came to me for thanks, Magnus, for all the things that I've done for you. You've never really met Captain Sol Zoroaster, but originally, when you came to the Imperial City, you did do it under the banner of one of his sailors.
Yeah, it was one of his ships.
He did not want to keep you in the gladiatorial ring. He wanted to put you on one of his boats. Yep. You didn't want to go on one of the boats because you wanted to fight, and you basically left. And the Conclave of Crimson Sands has been your home and shield from the ire of the head of the hilt, Captain Sol Zoroaster. In fact, it probably shouldn't be captain by the number of ships that he commands de facto. Admiral. He keeps the word captain because he likes to still do things. He's a rich man. He's a rich man plying off of the... Well, not the Imperium, but the Imperium has effectively made him a privateer, and a very rich privateer, and an admiral of privateers who prey upon those that the Imperium are otherwise trying to conquer.
There's this guy called Uker. He's gonna fuck up your fleets. It will be hilarious.
One ship.
When I received the invitation from our host, I couldn't help but come to see one of my men. Don't think that your debt has been forgiven, far from, Magnus. I'll get my pound of flesh.
Ashoka's just going to give a nod, and...
It's like...
But you won't be doing it here, Captain. Being led out by some servants is this man in a billowing robe, also called a muumuu. There are servants that also have small boxes. Mm-hmm. It is so good to have so many friends come to celebrate the end of the games. Well, I do see that my invitations to several Imperial persons were not accepted this time around. They likely know that they cannot withstand with their meager constitutions, Legius, your famous parties. Oh, yes, sometimes they do have a way of getting out of control, now don't they? Well, now let's have a look at him. Come forward. It looks like they've greased you up already.
Matt's like, okay, whatever. Let's do this. Let's get this shit over with.
My, what a strapping young lad are you. Corsican through and through. Your mother was Corsican, wasn't she? And your father likely as well.
He nods. Yeah.
A barbarous people, but so strong. What is the secret to your strength, Magnus? Why do you face the fire when others shirk and piece themselves?
The fire in my heart burns brighter and hotter than any other fire. Towards nothing.
You see, this is what we are trying to kill, the best of man. The gun is not the way. Hearken to the days of axe and sword, when the strongest, the smartest but the strongest also won. What are these weapons? But a averaging. Soon we'll be walking around all meager and sheep-like, looking up at statues of those like Magnus here, and wondering what happened to us. Why are we so weak? Why did we fall so far? I suppose the heroes of today will be the gods of tomorrow.
Magnus is standing out in front of him with his chest puffed, like, for him to examine,
yes.
I guess.
Keep that pose right there. Let me have a look at it. He looks around like he's studying Magnus now. Not studying in an admiration, but like studying detail. Yes, I do believe I have it. You notice one servant comes up to him. They give him a little circlet, or sorry, a little gemstone. He takes the gemstone, he pushes it into his third eye. He doesn't have a third eye, but like the place where third eye appears. Something goes into the gemstone, he puts it back in the box, and they send it off.
Spellcraft Arcana, what the fuck?
Sure.
I've never seen that shit before.
Is one that's better than the other ones?
Spellcraft?
Alright, spellcraft.
Is he some kind of... Does he build homunculi, maybe?
When you guys are on, I swear, I'm literally... You could always watch the episodes that I haven't uploaded to YouTube yet. They're still on Twitch, though, most of them. 10? Magic.
He did a magic thing.
He did a magic thing. Everyone else seems to be really quiet as he's made his entrance. Oh, Magnus, I hope you don't mind, but I've asked some of the others to bring some of their gladiators here as well. I always appreciate a private demonstration. It helps so much to see the heroes of today so up close and personal. All I ask is that you do what it is that you do your best, what your heart desires, to show us how fierce you and your people are, whether you know it or not. I assume that this is amenable, agreeable even, with you?
Of course. Fury, anger, and battle must always be accompanied with bravery and compassion, and fiery lust for combat.
What's going on?
Wants to know if me re-rolling that knowledge spellcraft check it's worth it. It's like, nah, I suck at spellcraft anyway. Ashoka is not much more of a doing type mage and less of a knowing type mage.
Don't spend a hero point on it. It's not.
Oh, he speaks for his own ludis. How delicious.
Yes, he is a master of our warriors. He trains them, and from time to time he fights with them.
Do you see that, Captain? A gladiator that is also the master of his own ludis.
I have fought more than enough battles myself. I don't need to lower myself for the arena of the Imperials. Because he won one fight does not make him a hero. We'll see how far this heart of his gets him.
Oh, yes, we will. But his candle is starting to burn bright. I foresee it. It's so good of you to come here. I am certain you had very many suitors for your time.
I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Good. Good. I didn't seem to catch your name. He turns to Ashoka.
Ashoka Maruya.
Yes. You're with the Conclave?
Yes, I am one of the masters of the Conclave.
One of the masters. Oh. Is Pompilius... Not Pompilius, is... Pennywise not feeling well?
Pennywise is indisposed.
I see.
I will be here speaking in his stead.
Yes. You will you? He smiles.
I'll smile back.
Would you like to see my collection? You notice that there's sort of like a groan from some of the other people in the room.
Certainly.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I'm like, yeah.
Not everyone has an appreciation for all of the things that I've collected. Very well, then, you spoiled little brats, is what he says to the rest of the people in the room. We will get on with the gladiatorial show, and perhaps afterwards, if you still would like to have a look. I'm sure that the public collection is all ready. He turns towards servants, and they bob their head, yes.
Oh, he's gonna have like. Did you see the Chronicles of Riddick anime that
Yes.
they did in Korea with that? It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that or something like that. It's fucking awesome. Statues, people going. Ah! Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Very well, then. Let's see what the others have brought in. I will allow you masters to negotiate what sort of fight you're going to put on for your dear host. Know that I will pay for half. The bloodier. The bloodier, the better.
Oh god. All right. Do we get to fight with our own boys?
So pay for half?
Yep.
What does that mean?
This is what I'm trying to understand.
I don't know. Ashoka's never negotiated setting up the fights before, so you don't know. He wanders off. I will go and speak to some of my other guests. I have a boring delegation. Unfortunately, they do not have the stomach for gladiatoria. Business, you see. Business.
Pleasure making your acquaintance.
Charmed,
Legius.
I'm sure.
Give him a bow.
Okay, you notice there's some nods.
You call those fucking gladiators? If I wasn't working, I'd roast whoever got put against me, says Zad.
It's a good thing he's working then.
As you know, we do not waste elven blood for the entertainment of any. Any fight that you would enter in with House Silden will be a non-lethal match. There is no blood between us. There is no ill will between us, and we have no stomach for slaughtering you.
Honorable battle.
Which system, Frozen? Yes, there are.
Ashoka Syndicate on the horizon. Ashoka's subclass is Consigliere.
So Monty Cook put out a book. It was called Unearthed Arcana. It's a big red book. They call them Feyen, and they've got a really neat system where they start out kind of on the power of halflings, and you can either go up and just like keep on progressing your character class, or go up into special Fey levels. Like they undergo a metamorphosis, and some of them become sprites, and some of them become quicklings, and some of them become like a different type of fairy, which I thought was a really neat thing. And they're pretty easy to translate into 3.5 Pathfinder. In fact, they are 3.5 rules, and they're pretty easy to transpose into Pathfinder. Yeah, and you can also look at what Fey Blooded does for sorcerers and kind of work backwards from there. Monty Cook, Unearthed Arcana, and Expanded. Expanded is a better book than the oh, it's called Arcana Evolved. Give me a second. Arcana Unearthed? Shit. Let me find the link.
So you're saying when you Google Monty Cookbook, that doesn't get you the right?
No, Monty Cook's done a lot of stuff. Arcana Evolved? Yeah, this is the RPG.net review of that book.
Yeah, when I type in Monty Cookbook, I get Monty Don's home cooking.
Make sure it's the red one, the expanded one, the thick one. It's got also great rules for half giants, so I use this book for both fan and half giants in my campaign. My campaigns. It's a classic book. It's a little expensive as a hardcover because it's so thick, and it might be even rare at this point. But I'm sure you could buy a PDF of it for a fraction of the cost.
How large is the arena?
The arena is about the size of one of these squares.
I got some killers that'd like to go up against you, Magnus and his little band, whatever you've got left.
And Pompilius doesn't actually. He just buys and sells gladiators. He doesn't actually.
You don't know. He's smiling at you. Oh, I do have some. They are trying to. Well, they're from the pits, you see. They are not ranked, he says, but I'd be willing to risk them in the arena, plus make some wagers, if you would like. Would you rather have some sort of sea creature, or would you rather have someone from the pits, Magnus? I have got a duo of swordsmen. Again, non-lethal only.
Is there a way to talk about fucking like hit dice or something in a way that's not stupid?
Tiers. Look at the tiers.
Okay. What tier are your swordsmen?
Oh, yes, I suppose that may be a problem. My swordsmen out-tier your gladiators. What are they? Are they even-blooded yet? So if you look at the Dread and Circus stable sheet definitions, the tiers are there.
All right, here. It's the Conclave of Hidden Sands, that sheet, I assume. All right, what does this even mean? All right, definitions. League. Tier. Okay.
Where do you see definitions?
Are they veterans, or...?
Yes, they are veterans.
And
Two young elves that are looking to make a name for themselves. They have caught the eye of our host because of how lithe and quick they are.
Doesn't take much to catch the eye of our hosts.
Well, you're still here, Captain. Clearly you're here for a reason.
Money. Is there any other reason for us to be in this abominable trade? Money.
And your killers, what tier are they? How many did you bring?
I've got a special surprise. And I've got a few that have been around in these gladiatorial fights. One of my men is unblooded. Although, rest assured, he's more than enough of a match for Magnus.
That simply means that he has not been ranked.
Yeah, well, I got lots of things going on. Busy. I've got a couple of veterans. If you're up for it, hero.
He's a hero?
Veteran?
No, he says he's got a couple of veterans.
Oh, and he called Magnus a hero. I was like,
Yeah.
do you mean you got like a level 10 dude that's going to come pound the world? Or just...
A veteran is 8 to 10, am I right?
No, 5 to 7. Veterans 5 to 7. So you can take veterans. Maybe.
If I'm lucky, win initiative and crit. Like, that's a lot of fucking ifs right there.
I thought you were Magnus the Mighty. What happened?
Of course, we could always go with Pompilius here and his endless supply of slaves.
Oh, and you've likely, probably, given me a few of those slaves indirectly.
And your sea creature.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was not being literal.
Oh, there's not some interesting sort of monster.
You do notice the captain thumbing one of his rings as you were mentioning that? Give me a perception or a sense motive.
All right. What are you doing? It's an ore.
Yep.
They're okay. They're the same value number anyway, so it's all good. Oh no, perception's higher. It's perception. 27.
One of his rings looks like it's wrapped around his finger, like it's of a thing. It's of like a kraken or an octopus, and it's wrapped around his finger. You notice him touch it slightly when you mention sea creature. Pompilius, however, release the kraken. Pompilius, however, didn't. He was using metaphor, may not realize the actual truth that he was hitting upon.
Mm-hmm. The pirates are cracking. That'd be fucking cool too. Blah, 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 blah. Just get it.
I suppose our host has left it up to you, Ashoka, Magnus. Whom shall you fight, or will there be multiple fights? I am looking forward to this private show, says Slave Lord as he dips his wine glass into the fountain. The captain's just waiting.
So, Magnus?
So exciting!
Zad's like, fuck off.
Magnus?
Yeah, Choco.
Blood sport or no, I suppose is the question.
I'm not gonna be killing anyone.
You're unblooded. You're proposing a one-on-one?
Yes. He's a real gruesome sort. I'm sure that Magnus will have no problems with him.
what an invaluable ally.